This is my review of the 1955 Voigtlander Vito IIa. As you may know from my previous video, I'm a massive fan of the Voigtlander Vito B, a hidden gem of a camera that is both exceptionally cheap and readily available. The Vito IIa is a folding bellows camera that was produced concurrently with the Vito B and shares much of its features, including the two main draws of its compact size and that brilliant and exceptionally sharp 50mm f3.5 colour Scopar lens. Because the Vito IIa is a folding camera, it is in fact even more compact than the tiny Vito B and can very easily fit into a pocket when folded. I took this camera out for the first time with my dad to a local steam railway. He was shooting his Vito B and I thought I'd go with the IIa to see how they compare. Well, after developing the films, the answer is identically. The images are still nice and sharp with decent contrast. The Vito B does benefit from a smaller aperture of f/22, whilst the Vito IIa is only f/16. In reality, this makes very little difference. The IIa is also kind of quirky in that you have to advance the film using the film advance lever, like the Vito B, but also cock the shutter using a tab alongside the lens. This only adds the nostalgic charm to me and soon becomes second nature. The shutter release is located just above the lens door, which took me a while to figure out, and to fold the lens, there are two plastic tabs inside the door that must be depressed. They must be the only piece of plastic on the camera, as, like the Vito B, construction is top-notch and heavy for its size, indicating a mostly brass construction. Also like the Vito B, you have a Pronto SVS shutter that can flash sync at any speed, so it's surprisingly useful for flash photography. It typically has the EV scale exposure system, as many 1950 cameras do, but as with the Vito B, it's implemented very well and a joy to use. I love using the Vito B, but prefer the IIa. It's smaller, more charming, easy to use but quirky, and produces beautiful, effortless images. They seem to be a tad rarer than the Vito B, and perhaps a little more expensive. Expect to pay between £30 and £60, depending on condition, but it's still an absolute bargain for what it is, an awesome little compact 35mm. Here are a few more sample photos from our trip to the steam railway.